Oh, delightful. Thank you for everyone who volunteered for the book fair. Most of those proceeds go towards library book, like new library books and teacher classroom books. So we're just waiting for the final numbers on that. If Dominique is on, she can maybe tell us by now. And then last but not least, the holiday parties. Thank you, all of you who are room moms, and big shout out to our room coordinators, Denise and Ian. The room parties went great and the kids loved it. So thank you all. Item number 2 for our meeting, done. All right. So agenda items, the first thing we need to do is approve. Well, the first thing we need to do is make sure everybody's on mute. That would be super helpful. So double check your little screen, make sure you're on mute. I would super appreciate it. Maybe, nope, I cannot. Okay, I can't mute you, so. All right. So first thing we have to do, approve the meeting minutes from the December meeting. Pamela, what do I say now? Do I have approval? Does everyone approve? Say aye. Aye. Okay, yeah, look, I see lots of thumbs ups. I like it. It's approved. Add it, Pamela. All right. Next thing. Okay. Middle school dance is coming up this Friday. It will be start time after school, like 4:15 until, someone correct me, is it 6:30 or 6:45?
6:30.
Oh, 6:30. Okay. So that's why I wrote volunteers from 4:15 to 6:45 just to help with cleanup. And so if you are interested in helping the middle school teachers and Ms. Modine,
Good night, Mom.
good night, I love you. And everyone would be very appreciative for those extra hands on deck. If you're interested, either email info@collinswoodpta.com. Naomi, can you throw that in the chat? And or throw your name in the chat now and say middle school dance volunteer. And we will add you to our list that Zaina, who I think is on the call, can write down.
Sherry, I'm even worse at technology than you, so I don't even know how to put anything in the chat. So I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I can do that part. info@collinswoodpta.com. Oh yeah, where is that chat thing? Guys. Oh, there it is. Okay, chat. Yay. info@collinswoodpta.com. Let me know. Let Zaina know. Let us all know. Bless those middle school teachers and our sweet middle schoolers. Okay. Good time. 80s party. Do it. Also, with middle school, I just wanted to update you. Spring sports that are coming. Baseball, and they're going to be pairing with Quail Hollow. Track is going to pair with Marie G. Davis and Sail. And soccer is just Collinswood. So just a fun little update there. Another update, the media center, as you all probably know, Ms. Ray retired. So we do have a temporary hire for the rest of the school year, and she just started, I think, yesterday. So if you pop into the school, say hi. She seems like a nice lady. I've seen her out there at Carpool yesterday. And she's also going to be helping with Black History Month. So that's awesome. I'm seeing who's on the call right now because is Dominique on here? Dominique. Hi, Dominique.
I'm here.
Yay. Okay. I'm going to switch up my meeting minutes because I know you're not feeling great.
Thank you.
We're going to put a pin in Black History Month for a minute and come back to that. I'm going to pop in with an important Treasury update and ask for a vote. Dominique, take it away.
Okay. Hey, so quick update on our on our treasury stuff. We currently have $70,052.52 in the bank. And the only really big issue that we need to kind of have a vote on from you guys today is that we would like to reallocate $1,000 from the Collinswood CASA's line item and move that over to the middle school dance budget. Collinswood CASA's hasn't spent any of that line item this year. They were we originally budgeted out $3,000 for that. And after kind of talking with Principal Modi and staff, we've kind of come to the conclusion that we can safely move this money and still be able to support CASA's just fine. So that's the only thing from me. And if anybody has any questions after we vote, let me know. So am I allowed to make the motion, or do I have to have somebody else make the motion? I can't remember.
I'll make a motion
Okay. Yay.
to move money.
I second that. We can move that $1,000 from CASA to middle school dance.
Paid members are allowed to vote.
Paid members can vote. Yes.
I support. This is Ross.
Second motion, okay.
So do we have any nays? I'm seeing thumbs up. Do we have any nays? Going once, going twice. I don't think I'm allowed to officially call that passed.
And it passes. Yay. Thank you, everybody. Dominique, did you have anything else to say for Treasury?
Not that I can think of.
Do you want to present the one other thing I had you, if you wanted to, the indoor beautification, your idea for middle school, or do you want to firm up some more things on the back end first?
I mean, the idea is I can share the idea, but we don't have dates yet. So the idea is that I would do like a Saturday thing maybe once a month, whatever dates kind of work out, and basically could do like middle school volunteers, parent volunteers, and we would be working together on a mural for the school, designed to be determined. But that would be, I think, the first major project of the year for indoor beautification.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you got the mural moved.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't me.
Somebody did.
Yeah, I think it was Labrisi and Modine. It wasn't me. I came in and it was there.
All right. Well, thank you. Feel better. I will move on. I'm seeing, do I have Sean or Crystal on here yet to talk about Black History Month? Not yet. Okay. We will keep pinning that for a moment. Is Priscilla?
Hey, Sherry, can
Oh.
we? Hey, sorry, I'm like rushing to try to get in the car to drive to work. Can we
Yes.
give me like 10 more minutes or put us towards the
Yes.
end and then I can talk?
Girl,
All right.
you're good. We got you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Priscilla Batista, Collinswood VIP dance. Are you here? I don't don't see you. All right. Well, that's coming up. March 9th is going to be the Collinswood VIP dance, meaning you bring your one very important person. The theme is going to be a jamboree. So think kind of like cowboy boots, Western, kind of a little more chill vibe than the past couple years. She has a good team going. You may have seen some communication hit GroupMe. If you want to go ahead and order your tickets, or if you want to help volunteer that day, and more information will be forthcoming. And if she hops in here, I'll let her say a little more. On to outdoor beautification / garden club. Ross, I know you're on the call.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. No, I'm having some issues hearing everybody, but I wasn't sure if it was just on my end. Um, outdoor beautification. We have our standing spring beautification day, but that's a few months off. So that's a mid-April date. It's on the calendar. We'll do our best to stick with that one. But before that, we're going to have something in February. February 10th is the date that we're talking about. It's a Saturday, and it's going to be the inaugural kickoff of our newly minted Collinswood Garden Club. So there's been a lot of work behind the scenes. It's all been behind the scenes so far, but we'll start to see the fruit of that work very shortly. To have garden beds built, and to have the area outside the cafeteria transformed into what will become a communal garden. So the activity in February will be focused on putting seeds in the ground, literally seeds, into containers that will ultimately be ultimately transferred to our garden beds later in April, but can be started now and can get a head start basically, so that while we're in the winter months, we can make some progress with getting some things growing. We've been collecting containers for this purpose for the past few weeks. I think we have plenty. I need to get them. So I'll do that on Friday is my plan. And Xana and I will be sort of guiding that event the 10th of February. And we hope everybody who feels inclined to participate, whether or not you have any gardening experience, comes out to help.
All right.
Is that good, Sherry?
That is good. Can you type that date in the chat? Just so everyone remembers.
I will.
I also put for the VIP dance, I put the tickets and the volunteer link. So check your chat. Next up, Spiritwear. Elena, are you on? I try to will people on by singing soothingly, but it doesn't seem to be working. Okay, I will talk about Spiritwear for a second. Everyone loves that you can order online. Boom. It's wildly successful. We are selling some spirit sticks at the basketball games. And we are going to be ordering new inventory soon. That's going to look like t-shirts. If you guys remember this style, if you're a new parent, this is like kind of tie-dye-ish. It's hard to see. We're going to be ordering tie-dye shirts, but blue. The zip up hoodies again. Also, that's going to be navy blue. And then I believe, and if anyone on the board remembers, I think we're doing long sleeve t-shirts that also might be navy blue. That one I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think the other two are definitely, I'm accurate about the tie-dye blue shirts and the zip up navy blue hoodies. So keep your eyes peeled on that. I think Elena was trying to pause orders for a couple weeks and then boom, start taking some pre-orders for the new stuff. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Sherry, it's Pamela. So just, I'm checking our notes. It's a navy zip up hoodie, gray pullover, and the blue tie-dye t-shirt.
Okay, I was like, she ended up going the gray pullover. Okay, yes, those gray pullovers have been wildly popular. All right, ignore no long sleeve t-shirt. Just kidding. Okay, let's move on to nominating committee update with Naomi Bautista, and she'll tell us about extracurriculars as well. Take it away, Naomi.
Hi, everyone. So I know that we just entered into the new year. So happy new year to everyone. And it seems kind of early, I know, but it is time to start thinking about the executive board for next year. So keeping that in mind, we do have a few changes for the upcoming executive board for next year. We are going to introduce 2 new positions. We're going to have a vice president of elementary school and vice president for middle school. So we're thinking the vice president for elementary school would be an elementary school parent, and the vice president for the middle school position would most likely be a middle school parent. So that would leave our updated officer slate for who we will be looking for this year as president, vice president for elementary school, vice president for middle school, secretary, and treasurer. So as part of the nominating committee, we do have just 2 kind of things that we're looking for help with. The first is we're looking for any interested people to help us with our committee. So right now it's Pamela and myself. And according to the bylaws, we do need to have an odd number of people on our committee, and it has to have at least 3 members. So right now we have 2. So we're looking for 1 more. Things we would be looking for or expecting for someone in this position would just be helping us identify some people who might be good for the certain positions that I just named, and also just helping to reach out to those people and seeing if they would accept the nomination, thinking through if there's maybe a spot in the officer slate where we need to fill, just kind of identifying a person who might be a good fit there. So I will put my email in the chat, and if you're interested in joining the committee, we would love to have you. So another thing we are looking for is just for everyone to maybe take a minute or 2 after this meeting to just think about people they might like to nominate for those officer positions that I had just mentioned. Last year, we had a great form that Adam helped us put together so that you could easily go online and either nominate yourself or someone else. And Adam did a fantastic job, and he already put together the new form for us. So it's ready. It will be going live very soon. So you can look on GroupMe, social media, the newsletter when we send that out, and feel free to fill that out. Nominate yourself, nominate a friend or someone who you think would do a great job in one of those positions. And remember that sometimes maybe the best person for the position could be you. So don't be shy in nominating yourself for these positions. Also, we are going to be working on updating the document that has the roles and responsibilities for each position. I know sometimes when you're just starting out, and I think a lot of the people on this chat, it looks like I see maybe like 2 kindergarten parents. So I know when you're just starting out, it can be a little tricky figuring out what each committee does, what each committee chair's responsibility would be. So it might be a little scary to sign up for. one of these positions, but we are working on updating that document that we have that I will put into the chat that lists everything out very clearly. So feel free to look at that document. I know that was super helpful for me when I was just starting out in PTA and trying to figure out what everyone does. Our plan is to have the elections in the spring. We're aiming, I think, for probably like the April 9th PTA meeting. The bylaws just state that it has to be before the last general meeting. So we will need to have all the nominations in and kind of the slate set and published so everyone knows who will be running for what position. So in the next few weeks, just keep an eye out on your emails and everything like that to see if we're reaching out to you to ask if you would accept a nomination. Maybe someone has nominated you, or to feel free to fill out that form for someone that you might like to nominate. So I will put a lot of this information in the chat. I know that's a lot. Are there any questions before I move on to the update on the extracurriculars? Or if there's anything I forgot, Pamela is also on the nominating committee, so feel free to add anything if I forgot something, Pamela.
I think you covered it all. I think I would just add, I think this, the officer slate is, I think, jobs that can be done very easily remotely. And so if that's, you know, something that could work for some parents, it's a great way to kind of make an impact and shape the experience that our students, our children have. And you can do it mostly remotely. So it's just a different, I guess, way to contribute to the PTA as opposed to, you know, driving to the campus for a 1 hour volunteer position, you know, helping hands, or one of the events that we have. Those are all great too. I just wanted to highlight that I feel like there's some advantages, I think, working remotely, and I've definitely been able to manage that within my work schedule and so forth. And it's been a win-win. So just a thought.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, to move on to extracurriculars. So currently, what we have set up for the spring semester is on Tuesdays, we'll be offering Taekwondo from 8 to 8:45, and that will be for grades 2 to 5, and that's AM, 8 to 8:45 AM. Wednesdays will be chess club from 8 AM to 9 AM. All grades are invited for that. And Thursday, we have mindful movement, which is our yoga program, and that's 8 AM to 8:45, grades 2 to 5. We are also thinking of adding some additional opportunities. So one of those would be a calligraphy club, and that would be a focus on working with the cursive handwriting skills. We're thinking that would be for grades 2 and up, and we're actually looking for some help in helping to get that off the ground. So I will put my email, also Sherry's email, in the chat. If you are interested in maybe helping to set that up, you can feel free to reach out to us. We're also thinking of having a spirit club, which would be a club that would help to make signs for our sports teams and hang them through the hallways and the gym. That would be more of a middle school focus. And kind of tied in with that, thinking of art, we're also in conversation with Noah's Art to bring like a mobile program to our school that would also be for the middle schoolers. And right now we are looking for that to be Tuesday before school. That's what we're thinking. That's not set in stone yet, but those programs would be about $10 to $20, we're thinking, per student, and they would be about 8 to 10 weeks meeting once per week. Ross has also been in talks with someone who is hoping to get a tennis program set up for us. So we're thinking that would be an afternoon opportunity, and we're still working on the details of that.
Oh.
And then, as Dominique said, she had mentioned before, she had to go, that she's trying to think of a way that she could get an indoor beautification day where she'd be working with the middle schools to do kind of like a paint by number mural type thing. So I will also include her email in the chat. if that's something you'd be interested in helping her out with. I know she would love to have whoever would like to join her, probably on like a 4 to 5 hour type activity on a Saturday. And Ross, I don't know if you wanted to add anything. I didn't mean to take your tennis idea away from you, but if there's anything you wanted to add about the tennis program.
No, no worries at all. Thanks for mentioning it. Yeah, cautiously optimistic. I'm having a meeting with the coach, the woman who runs the organization, and the gentleman who would be the coach at Collinswood Friday morning. So they're really keen to get into school settings. They want to run something as like chess, like a full year opportunity, basically. So if it works, it'd be a great fit. She's from Spain originally. I think she's open to I think many of her coaches are Spanish and English speakers, and she's very motivated by that feature of the school, and serving a community that thinks that's very important. So more to come, but cautiously optimistic.
Tennis program.
Sounds great. Thank you. That's everything that I have. Thank you for
Quick
listening.
question. On the mural, is the mural design set?
Is it what?
Oh, for the mural. You know what, Gerardo, I'm gonna put
No, she hasn't. They don't have any set designs yet, because it'll have to be something that's going to be approved through Modine and all of them. So it's something that Dominique has to work up the design first, then submit it to Modine for her to approve before they can even execute it.
I'm putting her email in the chat if you want to reach out to her if you have any ideas. I'm sure she would love to engage about that. That stuff really gets her little spirit soaring, all the creative things.
Is there a process established for creating this type of art for a school?
Like from the district side, or because I know her style that she was looking at for this is kind of akin to a paint by numbers type of deal. But I know that she would have to hand draw it out on the wall, which we're thinking like the cafeteria hallway.
I guess my question is more along the lines, who's the final group that approves the design?
Oh,
CMS would have to approve it.
Yeah.
We would have to come up with a design and talk to CMS about like having it approved.
And then actually, can I add another question? Because I wasn't sure if Gerardo was kind of wondering about, are there parameters like to guide the concepting of the design idea? Is that part of your question?
Correct. Also, yes.
Yeah, so I guess kind of what I'm thinking is something like along social justice lines and just like sociocultural awareness and representing the people who are part of our school community. And I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's I guess no concrete guidelines, which gives the school flexibility to design something, but final approval comes from CMS.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And again, if you have any ideas, Dominique would be jazzed. She hasn't been able to put her full effort into this because the treasurer role is very, oh wait, it's not cumbersome at all. If anyone wants to do it. But it's a lot. It's probably the most cumbersome of all the roles on the PTA. So if you reach out to her, she'd love it.
Hi, Michelle.
Yeah.
That was Dominique, correct?
Dominique. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Gerardo.
Yeah,
Hey, it's Ross.
yeah.
Hey, I'm also interested in exterior murals and artwork, and we're going to be getting more information hopefully soon on what approval channels that has to go through. It may be the same people at CMS. I wouldn't be surprised. But if you want to get involved in those types of activities, let's definitely talk, because indoor outdoor beautification, it's all sort of the same big bucket. But I think there's a real opportunity to do some very interesting projects that'll leave a mark on the school for many years, and some of that will be outside the school building as well.
Sounds good.
Oh, I love this. Look at this. People coming together. Woo! All right. That's what it's all about, baby. Okay. I will say, I think I have one more committee thing, and then we're going to go to Black History Month, because that is super awesome. Really cool stuff coming. Robert sent me a message. He cannot hop on, but I will 60-second summarize what he was going to say, which is this. Robert Koch is our invest guru. He helps us fundraise, and that is his real person job at Queen's University. So he's very skilled at it. We would like to add the next step in fundraising, which would be reaching out to businesses to see if they would like to be sponsors of our school. We've been working on a sponsorship packet with basically 2 pages. The first one, some fun facts about our school, things that are very endearing and heartwarming. And then the second page being the different sponsorship levels. The last I looked at it, I think it's like $100 sponsorship, $250 and $1,000, or maybe it's $100, $500, $1,000. And at each level, you get different perks. That might look like having a shout out on our Collinswood PTA social media. That might look like having your business logo at the bottom of our e-newsletter. That if you go to the $1,000 level, that could be having your sign, as you've probably seen at other schools, hanging off of the fence. So we're putting the finishing touches on that, and we're going to start to want to go out into the community soon. I also know, myself included, many of us own businesses and might like that type of advertising as well. So keep that on your radar. And if you are interested at all, either in being a sponsor, or if you want to, if you think you have some good connections, businesses you could talk to, please reach out to Robert. He has been forming his team, and I'm putting that in the chat now as well. He would love your help. And let's talk about Black History Month, because I think Crystal's on here and Sean's on here. Sean, I'm so sorry I did not even ask what time you're starting work tonight. But take it away, ladies.
No worries. I'm in the car now, so I'm trying to look at the PowerPoint and let the car drive.
Okay. Do not do that. Don't do that, please. I have the PowerPoint up. As a Duke Energy employee. So by the way, the reason I was late is my power has been in and out. Very embarrassing as a Duke Energy employee to put that out to you all. But we're good to go now. And we have quite a few ideas. Some of them are low level effort. Some of them are higher levels of effort. I know Principal Modine mentioned that there was a new staff member that was going to help support, maybe be the point person to help pull this all together. But we're, Sean, Dr. Fling and I are very excited about these ideas. It will engage the parents. And for us, I think what was really important was that it be something that's obviously age appropriate, which will be very different for kindergarten versus an 8th grader, but also something that will be engaging. I don't know what type of Black History Month experiences you all had, but I remember as a kid, there were instances where we would like be hauled into an auditorium and someone would be up on the stage talking, and it was not super engaging. And that's all I want it to not be. I would love for this to be something where the kids get the opportunity to be really hands-on and do something that they will remember and that will be exciting and fun for them. So Principal Modine, did you want me to like in a 2-minute, maybe 1 to 2 minutes, go over what some of the ideas were, or did you is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to pull up the PowerPoint. Please don't do it while you're driving, Sean. One of the things that's really cool, and you all probably know this, is we have a lot of parents who are leaders in their community. Like we have a school board member. We have a judge. My co-chair here, she's a doctor. We've got folks that have really interesting careers, who it would be great if they could come and talk to some of the classrooms and do almost a show and tell of maybe something that they do, or read a book that's about the work that they do, and then give the kids the opportunity to ask them questions. So that's one option we have. Depending on the number of parents that we have that will be interested to come and share. And I'm calling it Today's Black History because these are Black parents this isn't something that happened a long time ago. This is something that they're doing right now. We might be able to just dispatch them out to do maybe 1 or 2 classrooms each, or do it by grade, whatever makes the most sense. Another one that I thought was really cool is, I saw this online, recreating civil rights posters and photos. So allowing the kids to take like these classic images, and I know especially some of the older kids are really into Instagram and photos, recreating them, and then we could put them on display. We actually have one in my house, which I think would be pretty cool if we did it. Let me see if I can show it to you. I didn't plan to do this prop thing, but it just came to me. This one here, this is from the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City. You all are probably familiar with it if you've ever done a history class, but it would be cool, I think, if the kids did that, and that would be a good art integration. Another one is a door decorating contest. And I can share these images with you all, but essentially people could take a moment in history or a person, a Black figure, and decorate the board. Not the board, their door. I've seen some really cool ones, and I can share those examples with y'all if y'all are interested. We had parent videos. That's where parents can record a video of them reading a book by a Black author. And then probably the biggest, the one that would take the most level of effort, but I think would be really, really fun. It would require an entire month of work. Is called a Living Black History Museum. And that's where each homeroom or classroom would pick a Black American figure. We would provide a list, so they're not just pulling from the sky, and they could, the teacher maybe would pick who their person is, and they would research that person. So let's say their person was Katherine Johnson, who was the NASA scientist. If you all have seen the movie Hidden Figures, it was based on her and a couple other scientists. And then that classroom, the parents, the teacher, the class mom, or parents, they would be responsible for building an exhibit about that person. So let's say it was Katherine Johnson. I'll just use her for consistency. You might build like a model rocket ship, have one of the students decide to dress up as her. And then on the museum day, whether it's 1 or 2 days or however we would do it, each classroom would present their exhibit in this Living Black History Museum. So the students would have the opportunity to see all these different things, interact with the exhibits, so to speak. And Dr. Fling had a really good idea about how we could, how like some of the the nuts and bolts of how we would make it happen. I don't know if you wanted to share that.
Yeah, and that's what I think I put on the document, Crystal. I don't know if you saw that we wouldn't be able to do that school-wide to have the history museum. Yeah. It would just be I think what we're looking at is specifically one of the grade levels that's part of their curriculum. And so having one of the grade levels where every kid in that grade level would do would have a particular person, and we'd have the museum for the whole school, but it would only be one group that's actually doing the presentations.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess the Living History Museum sounds very similar to what we did during International Week for the kids per class. So was that Principal Modine who was speaking? Who was
Yeah.
that was speaking just now?
Yeah, that was
Okay,
me.
okay.
Yeah, Dina.
Okay, nice to meet you. What they did last year was each classroom, at least within the kindergarten group, and I believe it was at least kindergarten, the lower levels. I'm not sure if it was the whole school or not. I think one of the parents with an older child would have to comment on that, but each class had a country. And the countries, it seemed like they were based off of the homeroom teacher's home country. And all of us made posters. And these posters were, of course, in varying degrees of complexity. And the students went to the different homeroom classes to learn about the other countries. And so what Crystal and I were envisioning, because I think that I think that this is something that could be implemented in every grade level, because again, it can be very simple and then it can be more complex, and having the kids actively involved like that is a great way for them to really, learn the information. But each kid went to the various classrooms to learn about the different countries. And I know my kindergartner got a lot out of it, and really, we worked together to create the poster. Sherry and I were talking about maybe getting families involved with Sign Up Genius to pick up, to bring in various supplies from home to create this. This doesn't necessarily have to be anything expensive. And again, I think it could be tailored towards every age group. That's the cool thing about a museum setting. Usually if you go to many museums, they have things on the level of the kindergartner all the way up to the college level student. So I mean, and I guess it's near to my heart, because out of all of the different activities that we've discussed, that's the one that seems to have the most hands-on with the kids and them actually working together to make something for their classroom.
Right. And I think, did you guys get an invitation to meet on Thursday for the committee? Because we want to iron out like finalizing what that would look like, and what would be school-wide things, and how to make sure everybody's involved.
Yes, we did. So Crystal's got a conflict. I am usually, because I work from either 8:30 to 7 or 7 to 7. So I'm usually not conscious at 2:30, but I'll be there. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Tia Smith is our new person that's in the media center, and she's going to be in the meeting too, just to kind of figure out how we can make this where we have the biggest impact across the entire school.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I saw that. So I will do my very best to be there, of course, pending what the shift looks like and everything.
And if not, we can, we can catch you guys up and let you know what's going on too.
And I'll see if I can move that meeting to make it work. We'll see. The other thing I forgot to mention that we put in our notes is something that often gets left out during Black History Month and during Hispanic Heritage Month is the prevalence of Afro-Latinos, like people who are both.
Oh, yes.
And I thought this would be a great opportunity to highlight that community. It makes the most sense at Collinswood. I was reading this article. I didn't know Gwen Eiffel she's technically Afro-Latino she passed away, but she was Panamanian. So I think it'd be a great opportunity to highlight that somebody really cool the kids might know, Zoe Saldana. Am I saying her name right?
Mm-hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think there might be an opportunity to make sure that we include that community too, as well.
And then we were talking about as well with the, today's, I guess, Black History Today, even if we can't get all of the parents in, or professionals, we could do a lot of this virtually and incorporate it into the morning reports and whatnot, so that we can, time, of course, it's not on anyone's side, but so that we can make sure that it's all encompassing for all of the grade levels.
Yep. Yeah. So like if our school board member can't make it, Monty Witherspoon, if he wasn't able to make it, he might be able to send the video maybe live from a school board meeting and explain like what he does. That'd be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure we could convince him to do it. I'm pretty sure he would actually show up, but just in case he couldn't, that'd be an option for him or anyone else.
Awesome. All right.
I had a question.
Yeah.
Crystal, do you have in mind the number of maybe parents that you would like to speak and share their careers? Is there a certain number you're shooting for? And if you're finding, because Black History is going to be here in like 3 weeks, if we're finding that we're short, is there a plan? Like I look at Ross and I know he works at B of A and he's really plugged into like the affinity groups, the ERG.
Yeah.
There an outlet, a plan B that maybe it's friends of Collinswood. They may not necessarily be. Do you have could you help us kind of understand the need? Yeah. And maybe
now you got my wheels turning because I'm the program chair for our African American ERG at Duke Energy. I would definitely demand that they do this.
Well, and I think we talked about even doing, if people couldn't come in, then we could have them send in like no more than like a 5-minute video. Ms. Modine, we talked about like 3 questions, like who you are, what you do, how you got there. That way they could play them at the morning news. They could play, we could have 1 a day at least, yes. So that could be
I think what will be helpful for me is just to know how many classrooms we have. And I think if it's, and you all know the kids better than I do. My oldest child is 5. So, but I imagine with the older kids, we might be able to combine them. The only reason I wasn't thrilled about combining the kindergartners because I have a kindergartner and I don't know how great that would be, but I feel like for maybe 7th and 8th graders, you might be able to have them, like if there's a really cool speaker, someone that people really want to talk to, you might be able to combine them. So if I knew the number of classrooms, that might help me to figure that out too.
Yeah, and I can get you that information.
Yeah, number of classrooms by grade, and we could probably figure it out.
Yeah, I know one of the people that we were going to try to get in touch with, someone has contact with the young lady that was the ballerina in the Nutcracker this year. She's actually Afro-Latino.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Jamie, is that, I think I saw Jamie.
I can't remember her name. I looked it up the other day.
Clifton.
Hi, guys.
Hi, you're our contact.
Yeah, I spoke with the girl, Elin, and her mother, and they are all about it. So we just have to get them dates, and they will show up. She does homeschool too, so her schedule is quite flexible. So it should be pretty easy to book her.
See, and that might be something where, I don't know how the specials are, but it seems like it'd be a great during the art class, maybe there's not, I don't know. That would be great for probably an entire grade to hear from her.
There's also dance is one of our specials this year too. So that would be maybe a fun thing for, I don't know. I can talk her into giving them a little something to do physically too with her.
Yes. That's awesome. That'd be really cool. I would probably crash that. My question is, if we were to have, like if Ross or myself was to be able to get like a Duke Energy or Bank of America employee, would they need to complete that volunteer process before they could come speak to the kids? The background check thing?
Yeah, they would have to be approved CMS volunteers to come in.
Okay.
But it doesn't take very long.
It doesn't take long, but I just want to make sure I build that into the timeline. If that's something that we need to do. Okay.
Not if they did a video though. Like if someone did a video that we showed in the morning announcements, they wouldn't have to go through that whole process.
Okay. Well, yeah, once we have an idea of the number of classrooms by grade, then we could probably from there figure out like how we would need to make it work. And again, I think if there's someone really amazing, or I don't know, everyone's amazing. Let me just clarify that. But if there's someone that might be particularly interesting or really, really like a good fit, if we might be able to combine grades or classrooms, but generally speaking, it might be good to, like, I know we have a judge that's on the committee. And she already agreed to speak to, so that might be a great person for people to hear from.
If anybody else would like to join the Black History Committee, Black History Month Committee, I put Crystal's email in the chat. And Crystal, I put the volunteers link there too, if you need to copy it or anything.
Sorry, the one other thing I did want to say too is for the museum or really any of these activities, I would love to stress that this is not something that is for the Black students. Like, let's say if a classroom decided that they wanted to do an exhibit of Rosa Parks, we wouldn't be expecting the like if there's one Black kid in the class, like that one has to be Rosa Parks. It would be for anyone to do. I remember as a kid, I was Abraham Lincoln. So, we can go Hamilton style with the casting. Anyone can be anything. Black history is American history. It's for everyone. So I just want to make sure people knew that that was where our heart was at with it.
Goals,
Awesome.
yeah, and also with the parent readings. So we actually did that. My Cyan, my daughter, went to Charlotte Bilingual Preschool before she enrolled at Collinswood. And her preschool teacher had all of the parents in the class actually read a book by an African-American or Latino author and just record the video, short story for a preschooler, and then upload it. And she would show the video in the classroom throughout the month. And the kids love that because they love seeing their parents. And again, that's a great opportunity again for all of our parents to get involved. I know our younger ones, I don't know how it is once they're in 8th grade, but our younger ones love to see our faces and it's like we're actually in the classroom throughout the month and contributing as well. And Crystal and I were talking about also providing parents with a list of suggested books as well. And that could be something that's done within each of the different classes with the parents within those classes.
And we'll make sure we don't pick any of the banned books.
You guys are on it. I love it. I can't wait for the meeting. That's awesome. So I feel like everyone has a much better sense of what we're doing this year for Black History Month, all the ideas that are in the works. And again, if you want to help, Crystal's email is in the chat. And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one this year. I have, the last little committee update was for family socials, Collinswood Family Socials. We've really been trying to come up with something every month, ideally that is no cost. So I'm just going to give you a rough idea of what we're doing for the rest of the year. Please go on the collinswoodpta.com website and check out the events calendar, because as I get things solidified, I do update as soon as possible. So last month we did OMB. This month, next Friday, actually, we're going to have our Noche Familiar. I'm not a native Spanish speaker. You guys know that. So our Collinswood Family Night, similar to what we did for Dia de los Muertos, where we're going to have a movie inside in the multipurpose room. We're going to show The Little Mermaid 2023 Disney version. And we're going to put it in Spanish. Ms. Modine learned how to do that. And then we're gonna have open gym, always popular for all the kids, but I know the older kids really appreciate that. And we have a food truck coming, Latin Stop. They have been to some of our events already this year, so they're looking forward to that. And then in February, I'm just solidifying the date, I'm thinking it's going to be February 16th that we go after school to, on a Friday, February 16th, that we go to Highwire Brewery if you'd like to come meet up. I just happened to be there in December. I had never been before, but there's a lot of giant interactive games. And since it's still chilly, they have like table tennis and soccer pool and foosball and shuffleboard and outside across the street there's some pizza food options. They also have non-alcoholic options as well. South End-ish area, like around Remount Road. So that's February. March, you are going to see communications about this shortly. This is going to be the only one that's going to cost money through the rest of the year. This is a checkers game. It's going to be Sunday, March 17th at 1 p.m. The Charlotte Checkers hockey team plays at Bojangles Coliseum. Tickets are $20. If we sell 100 tickets, we get $5 back per ticket. So I've already coordinated that. I have a link that'll go out that you can buy your tickets on. Our group is all together. So come out. It's St. Patrick's Day. Maybe they'll have green beer. Maybe the ice will be green. I don't know, but hopefully they'll do something cute for that. April will be another Collinswood family night at the school with movie, open gym, food trucks. That will be 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., maybe 8:30, if we have to push it because of when the sun goes down. Sorry, you don't want my computer to die. I don't want my computer. Maybe you do want my computer to die. It's 8:02. Okay. May. Tiffany Daniel has this awesome idea. You'll hear more about it, but it's essentially a neighborhood meetup. And what we're going to do is rotate neighborhoods, those outer neighborhoods. We have a lot of people that don't live near the school. So we're thinking Ballantyne, Steel Creek, South Park. South Park doesn't sound that far, but like deeper into South Park. And having a set place to meet up. Maybe that's going to look like once a week, every Saturday afternoon, or something akin to that. The idea being people who live in those outer areas right before summer break are going to get to know other families that also live in those outer areas and hopefully continue their fellowship throughout the summer. You can go to any of them. You don't have to live in that area, but just something fun to do. And then June, I think we're going to do something at Open Tap. I have not been there, but I hear there's all these fun taps that are kid friendly and some adult ones too. But thought that might be kind of cute. There's a play space for the kids. So that's kind of what the PTA Socials Committee is looking at doing for the rest of the year. The last hardcore thing on my agenda, if you want to write it down or put it in your phone now, upcoming events to be on your radar. Again, this Friday, middle school dance, 80s theme. It's after school until 6:30. If you would like to volunteer, we would love that. Email us info@collinswoodpta.com. January 17th, our Jaguars are playing basketball. We're going to have food trucks again. The kids really have fun. If you have younger kids, I'm actually really surprised. I have a preschooler and I kind of dread taking him anywhere. He's up there cheering and having a blast. So even if you kind of have a chaotic home with little ones like I do, they have fun. And there's food. So think about it. That's January 17th. January 18th, 8 a.m. to 8:45 is going to be Principal Coffee. We always love our Principal Coffee. It's a smaller group that tends to go. You get more FaceTime with the admins. You learn interesting stuff about the school. If I had the capacity, I would take notes and like have them printed every time because it's just rich with information. I try to put out what I can, but yeah, come. And then the 19th, Friday the 19th, in the morning, 7:45 to 8:45 is an SIT meeting. That's the school improvement team. Tiffany Daniel leads that on the parent end. So I know she would love as much participation from our parent community as possible. They're kind of working on things like signature trips, DC, Spain, or somewhere where they habla Espanol. Different things like that.
Hey, Sherry,
And then,
question
yeah.
on that. It's Pamela. The SIT meeting, is it virtual, and where do
Ooh.
parents go for the link?
Yes. So the SIT meeting can be virtual, or if you would like to go to the school, you can. There are people who are at the school as well. The link should be on the collinswoodla.com school calendar.
Yeah, it changes. It might change every month. And so I will send out the link every month for the meeting ahead of time, and it'll be on the parent weekly communication.
Perfect. Good teamwork. All right.
And I
Good
hate to
idea.
do this, but I've got to jump off. But I just want to tell everybody good night, and I'll see you guys around school.
Thank you, Ms. Modine.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. For the rest of the month, that night on the 19th is the Collinswood family night with the open gym, food truck, movie. Be there. It's awesome. It's going to be 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then finally on the 22nd and the 24th, the day before and the day after my birthday, I'm turning 40. I will be at these Jaguar basketball games because they're going to have food trucks. And one of the food trucks that comes, fun fact, she does mini pancakes like a dessert truck. She is a Collinswood alum, and she is highlighted in our PTA e-newsletter that you all should have gotten in your email boxes this morning. Really sweet mom. And she loves the school, so she wants to be at as many events as possible. She comes to every single one that she can make. So it's nice to have her support. I am done. If anyone has any questions about absolutely anything we covered or didn't cover, I may or may not know.
Do our kids have school tomorrow?
Do our kids have school tomorrow? My sources tell me keep your eyes on what happens overnight with the winds.
Oh my God, no, that was not a definitive yes, they have school tomorrow. I don't want to hear that.
North Carolina state law is school buses can't drive if the winds are over 45 miles an hour. And I don't think it's going to be windy when the first buses go out, but I don't know. It doesn't seem that windy right now, but I don't want to jinx anything. If there's a bunch of trees down and there's all this damage and different things and it's not safe, yeah, it could have, it's 50-50. That's the best I got.
All right, fingers crossed that there is.
It's been a very smooth drive to Shelby.
Good.
Be able to go to school.
Thanks for holding it down out there.
We used to have to just like tuck our heads in the hallway next to the wall. We used to practice.
Right. Yes, in the hallway, like yep.
Because it was supposed to be safer than your house. So
true. It's all concrete. Yeah. Send them kids to school. They need to learn. Does anyone have any questions? I can talk all night. I'm really not annoyed. If anyone wants to ask me anything. Okay. Yay. All right, guys. Well, we're wrapping it up. Pamela, 8:10 p.m. I'm calling the meeting to a close. Bye, Christian.
All right. Motion to close this meeting out. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Nominating Alyssa next year.
You are not. That is what you are not going to do. Otherwise, you're going to lose all the other volunteering I do.
Ooh, Alyssa she's pulling out the big guns.
Good night, everyone. On that note, I'm logging out.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye.